Hi, I'm Bubble Tea Kristin, and today we are back again with the owners of Boba Cha here in the Algarve, Portugal. I'm here with the owners of this family-run business, Nancy and Jenny, and I'm actually back to help them with their winter drink menu. Because we're coming into the colder season now, sales at some bubble tea shops may slow down. So that's what I'm here for, to help. So first, let's hear about how the last 6 months have gone for you since you first opened.
Well, Kristin, it's gone really well. Of course, you open up a business, you don't know how it's all going to be, but we've been very thankful for the support of the locals. But of course, this is a very touristy area, so we had a lot of people come by from all over the world. So it's been great meeting different people and really interacting with our customers. It's been fun. But again, it was summer, so there was a lot of traffic. We're right here on the beach, so that brings a lot of traffic. So now it's winter time. We're going into the winter, so we're looking forward to really interacting with the locals and really being part of the community that we are in right now.
It's been very, very busy summer, but we got through it, and we're looking forward to, a little bit more of the time with the clients and the locals, and hopefully continue to serve the people that are enjoying the bubble tea for the first time.
I could tell as soon as I walked in that this place attracts a really trendy crowd. I'm sure there's loads of people, all international, many different languages. How do you guys handle that?
Fortunately, a lot of people, even though they're from different parts of the world, English is very common amongst our clients, our customers. I mean, so it's been very helpful having the English background for sure, having a shop in a tourist area. But thankfully, we do use a lot of gestures, and we try to show things and point at things. And I think between all that, we managed to serve our customers really well.
And we have the Portuguese background, so speaking Portuguese isn't much of an issue for us, so we can communicate with the locals, which is important to us.
And so what is your current menu like?
Current menu right now, of course, with the bubble tea, we've got Toasties, which is quite popular in Portugal. We've got sandwiches, and we also introduced with the bubble tea is a artisanal fries, which is, we call it Poutine, something new introducing to the locals here in Portugal.
The Poutine, just in case you're wondering, that's just from Canada. We're Canadian, but we are of a Portuguese background, but we want to introduce this to the Portuguese community, and it's just really yummy fries with gravy and cheese, and it's so good.
And you guys also have some beer selection and some alcohol, some ice blended alcoholic drinks like Piña Colada. So it seems like you have a really wide array of options for everybody.
Yes. We've got the coffee and tea, which we continue to serve because it's coffee and tea is important to the Portuguese community, let alone also the expat community as well. So we thought it was a good idea to have a well-rounded restaurant or cafe.
What was the thought process of not just serving bubble tea? Why not? Why didn't you just open a bubble tea shop? How come you decided to have it be a cafe with food and beverages?
That's a really good question, Kristin, because what we did is we bought an already existing business, and it was very successful. So, and it was really important to us to really cater to the locals. And bubble tea is not something that the locals are familiar with. So we didn't want to just come in with the bubble tea. And so this way we were able to really accommodate the local community and introduce them to this slowly, which has been great. A lot of people are really coming around and enjoying it and asking questions. So we do a lot of sampling, but again, it was really important to us. We're here in Portugal. We really want to serve the locals as well. Of course, expat community is very important to us as well, but we are here in Portugal, so we wanted to cater to our Portuguese community.
I was just thinking the part of being a well-rounded cafe was that they could come in and get that bubble tea, but still be able to come and get a snack, because, I'm sure everybody goes out and wants to have a drink, but they always look for those, want to snack on, whether we've got wings and we've got the poutine and the toasties. So it was something that they could come more often and not just think that it was just a drink spot.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And also the food that you are serving is not just food, right? It's not just like, we're just serving this food. Every single food item, at least that I tried, which I tried loads and loads on this trip, is so good. It's noteworthy. It's like it's just delicious, and you can tell there's been a lot of time put into it, a lot of thought. It's all unique and one-of-a-kind recipes for all of the food as well. So again, it's not just that sort of thing of, oh, we'll just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. But no, we put a lot of thought into it, and you guys I think you did a really great job with everything.
Yeah.
And how successful and receptive have the people been towards bubble tea?
I believe very well. Of course, we're introducing it, but then we have the good bubble tea, really that love bubble tea that show up every day. We understand that there's far few in between. They're more of our expat community, but what's been really fun to see is that the coffee is very, in the mornings we're very coffee driven, and in the afternoons we're very bubble tea driven. So it's a very balanced actually between the two. So it's great that we are able to do both, because then we are able to serve both customers, the ones that love bubble tea and the ones that come in and want a cup of coffee as well.
With that being balanced, is we're able to serve the whole family as well. Whether you've got the kids or wanting bubble tea and the parents wanting a coffee, or vice versa. So it will be it's nice to have that variety.
And would you mind sharing what type of coffee? Because for people in America, they might think you're literally just serving drip, but you guys do loads of different coffee options. So would you mind sharing what kinds you do?
Coffees that we're serving here in Portugal will be the most, I would say, popular would be the galão, which is like a latte, and cappuccino, and then we just go as far as doing a batonado, like Americano, and then of course the espresso, which is the most popular coffee here in Portugal.
And yeah, I did actually notice that in the morning when I came in, it was mostly coffee, some sort of highly caffeinated beverage, usually hot, right? And then maybe in the afternoon it kind of tapered off a little bit, and then all of a sudden it was like bubble tea. Everyone was drinking bubble tea, and also the food items differed as well. What people were eating more in the morning or afternoon or evening. So it's really interesting to kind of see, and it's not like you're pushing it that way. That's just the way it's naturally happening, which is great.
A lot of people asking questions when they're coming in and getting that coffee or getting that what their norm is, and then questioning like what bubble tea is, and they might not get it at that time, but they're certainly interested, and then they're coming back to give it a try at a later time.
Which would you say has the higher profit margin, food or drinks?
I think it's balanced. It really is balanced. And if we go and look our data and our stats, we do see that, as we mentioned before, the coffee-driven mornings and then the bubble tea-driven afternoons. So if you're looking at food as well, it's the same thing. We have the balance in the morning, more of the breakfast items, like the Toasties, and then the afternoon starts the fries and the wings. But it's very balanced. It's been very interesting to see. Both have been very successful in this region.
I think maybe if we were to look at maybe drinks as a whole, could be slightly higher than just food right now. But it's but very, very balanced.
And if someone was watching this and maybe they didn't want to have loads of food options, they just wanted to focus on bubble tea, would you say that they still need to have 4 or 5 staff members, or is that just quite unique for you guys because you have so many different food items?
I think it's unique because we have a deli section, we have the kitchen section, and then we have, of course, the coffee and bubble tea section. So you do have to have more staff because you have very different stations running at the same time. Absolutely. If it was just bubble tea, I believe we could just do it with 2 to 3 people.
Yeah, absolutely, just a bubble tea, and you're wanting to have a smaller shop. We certainly have a bit of square footage here, and Kristin can attest to that. But 2 to 3 people for just a bubble tea shop would suffice, I think.
All right, big question. What are your highest overheads?
Where we are, the rent, it's very high, and of course staffing. Those are of course the big two ones that I would mention. But then again, it's a catch-22. If you're not in a location where you have a lot of flow traffic, then you can get less rent. But then you don't have the foot traffic that we have here because we're literally in front of the beach. So that is something that we had to look at as well, is location. So location is very important when you're making the decision on what kind of shop you're going to have, because if you're depending on the foot traffic, then of course you're going to have to be in an area where it's more touristy, which of course rents are much higher. So it's a catch-22. So we made the decision to really pick the location, and that is why we are here and why we chose the Oceanfront.
Exactly that. Those are the 2 highest ones, and then of course you're looking at everything else that comes in play, which is like our product, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whether it be bubble tea or food.
If you could do it all over again, are there any of these overheads that you might consider to have figured out a way to have gotten lower, or as you said, rent being very high because you're right on the beach, actually you're 100%, you know that was the right decision? Or do you think, I don't know, maybe we could have been a block or two off and saved on some rent? How do you kind of look at that situation?
I think we made the right decision. I think we have a great location where we are here in the Algarve. We're right in the middle of what they call the Golden Triangle, and we're right on the beach. So I think location is a prime location. We really are excited that we were able to get it, first of all. Would we change it?
I think if you think in the way that if we could have gotten the same waterfront, but a smaller space, and then the less rent. So, and we certainly looked, but it's very hard. It's very hard to find something that you would like to have for the space that you're wanting. We certainly did a little bit of the rentals ourselves, and Kristin touched base about that. But just to make the vibe that we wanted to give out to for our shop and for the clients. So yes, we could have picked a different spot if there was available, and then maybe our rent. That was one thing that we could reduce.
All right, so you guys have 2 sizes of bubble tea. Which one sells the most?
The large is the popular size, yes.
And how are the sales of the alcoholic bubble tea? Because that's something quite unique and not many places do that.
In the summertime, they're going really, really well. I think our most popular one is the Piña Colada. It's here in Portugal, it's hard to find a good Piña Colada. So we think ours is one of the best here. But we also have the Tiki Passion that we make that is very good as well. A Blue Lagoon. We have a few fun ones, and people are responding well.
Knowing that the tourist season is over now, what direction will you be taking the shop for the winter season?
Well, that's why we have you here now. The warm drinks are what people are starting to think about when it gets cold. They want something warm, like a warm tea or coffees, which here in Portugal, coffee is really important. So we thought that we wanted to introduce the warm bubble teas, and that is why we have you here. So we're really excited to see and to come up with a new winter menu.
We're excited. We're gonna get some trials and try and see what will work the best for the clients.
Great. And also, in talking to some of the locals, I found that although everywhere sells coffee, they don't sell hot winter drinks. So not even necessarily just hot winter bubble tea drinks, but just hot winter drinks in general, like a really good hot cocoa or something like that, So you guys are going to have not only the bubble tea market for the whole area, but also hot winter drinks for the whole area. Yeah. So that's really exciting. And staffing wise, knowing that it may not be quite as busy as it is during tourist season here during the summer, do you think that you'll have less staff in the winter time period, or do you think you'll have the same amount?
I think what staff-wise, we are very fortunate that we've got two good full-time staff members that we definitely want to keep on. We don't want to lose them. They're trained, they're fantastic, so we're really excited to this 2 full-time staff that we have. This is a family-run business, so fortunately on really, really busy days, we bring reinforcements. Of course, we do have our kids on payroll as well, so we do rely on that resource, which for us is, I think, very helpful. I think a lot of places don't have that luxury.
Exactly.
So, and we are very fortunate to have that luxury that we can bring into our family when it gets really busy.
That's one of the things that allows us to do what we're doing, and some people don't have that. So that's probably a good point that we should say that we've allowed to do the 2 of us and our 2 full-time. But when you have those busy days, it's, maybe that's something that people could look at and trying to have someone that is part-time or a friend or 2 that can help out when is needed.
Right. So you've got your 2 full-time staff, and then you both work full-time. So technically that's 4 full-time staff members. And then especially during the summer, maybe a bit in the winter or maybe on the mornings when it's chilly out, you might need to bring in an additional person, someone who's on payroll, like you said, the kids. When we say kids, we mean like they're older kids, they're not little children. And then maybe a husband or 2 can come in as well, So that's really great that you have that opportunity. So you're not going out and like hiring part-time staff members whenever you need them. It's more, you have people you can pull from, which makes it very convenient. So that's really good. Okay, and any final closing thoughts for anybody out there who is either wanting to open a bubble tea shop or is in the process of opening a boba shop?
Research your market. The market, knowing your market is very important coming in. Like you keep hearing throughout this interview, coffee, Portugal, very important. And there is hundreds of coffee shops here in Portugal. So what you want to do is you want to actually use that for your benefit, but distinguish yourself. So that's what we did. We came in, we have a cafe, we do serve wonderful coffees, but we distinguish ourselves also with a bubble tea. So that is what we bring to the market here. Yes, you will find a lot of coffee shops here in the Algarve. So I think one of the things I would recommend, know your market, use it to your benefit, and distinguish yourself.
Just really learning where you are, and maybe perhaps is sometimes talking to the clients, or just being out there and seeing what they're wanting, and maybe just asking them what they would like to see. That might be helpful as well in the market that you're in.
Those were all really great, amazing points. So I'm glad that you guys added those in there.
Another point, when you're actually going to the market and you're thinking bubble tea especially, do get someone that you can work with and trust. We absolutely would not be able to do this without Kristin. So I think find that one Kristin out there. If you can't get her,
if it's not Kristin,
but do find someone that can mentor you, that can be there to support you, because she has made this process so much easier on us. There's so much to do, to think about, but having someone there to say, you know what, these recipes are good. You know what, you can't go wrong with this. And having that guidance and support. That would be absolutely on my top 3 list. So know your market. Get trained, surround yourself with people who can actually really help you bring the best product to the market, because if you're going to do it, just do it and be the best at it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Well, again, congratulations on all your success, especially having seen it, before and now, and how much it's grown and how much you guys have learned. And it's just so exciting. Well, that sums up for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again soon. Be sure to come visit them.
Algarve, Portugal, Colada.
Awesome. All right. See you. Take care. Bye.